Hey guys, it's Ron from Ron's Basement. Thank you for joining me today. Who is suppressing the price of gold? I'm going to repeat that for you in 1 minute, but we're going to take a look at that today. We've got some interesting things to look at, some interesting ideas and concepts. I appreciate you joining me today. And we're going to get to some comments. Hello, Travisio. Glad you're with us today. Who is suppressing the price of gold? Have you guys noticed? Have you noticed in the last few days, the last few weeks, gold keeps poking its head above $2,000 per ounce? Yes. And we get excited, right? I mean, don't you feel that? Like, oh yeah, cool. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. And then boom, lately it's been right around 7:30 Central Time that we get this like beat down in the gold price in US dollars. Hello, my friend John Baxter from Scotland, UK. I love you too. Hello, Raifi Anur from Pakistan. Look at this. Scotland, Pakistan, and Travisio Rocio says Citibank raises price prediction. Oh, on silver from 4 to 28. Thank you. Thank you. That is a great piece of information. Hold on, I'm writing that down because I want to research that when we're done. Talking about silver, pretty crazy. 30 is coming in hot this year. Yeah. Nick the Ice Pick. Yes, Nick, that's what this video is all about. I was like, aren't we seeing, or do you guys get frustrated? Like, I wake up in the morning and I'll be honest with you, thank the Lord above that I'm still alive and go through. I'm not really in a good mood in the morning. I'm not going to lie to you. Anyway, I do a few things. I have a couple little like inspirational readings that I do. And then I look at the gold price. And this morning I look, it's like 2005. And I'm like, cool, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to get above $2,000. And then every day it's like, boop, they tamp it down. I think Nick the Ice Pick said it perfectly right. Hello, Hasta La Vista Adventures. Good to see you, John. Thank you, John. Yeah, guys, I'm getting close to 20,000 subscribers, and I couldn't do it without you. Yes, you joining me today. Now, we want to talk about this. Why is gold, it feels like it really, I'm not a big conspiracy theorist. Let me know what you think, but doesn't it feel like they are like desperate to keep it under $2,000, right? Now, it's very frustrating. I'll be honest with you. It gets me upset. I don't know how you feel about it, but it just feels like they're really like holding a beach ball underwater. And you can only hold a beach ball underwater for so long before it comes shooting up. Right? And it just feels that way, like they're afraid to let gold go above $2,000. And we know what that's going to do for the silver price too. When it finally does shoot up, it's going to be magnificent. Now, let's get to a couple more. Austria. Hello, Michael. Winter Eater, MG from North Carolina, Tyler Cole. I'm okay with price suppression because that allows me to stack. Yes, that's the silver lining, pardon the pun, on price suppression, as we do get the physical metals for a much cheaper price. They can't keep it down for long. No, I agree with you, Nick. Tari saying Turkey, yes, good to see you. For the Future from Indiana, not too far from here. Hello, For the Future. We love you, Ron. Aw, I love you guys too. You guys are awesome. The people in this community are awesome, and I mean that. So thank you. London, England. Man, we got Austria, London, England. I might be going to Paris this summer if anybody wants to put me up for a couple days. I love roller coasters. I was looking in Germany. There's like this awesome amusement park, Fantasia Land. If anybody's ever been there, send me an email. But that's not what this video is about. It's about the price of silver and the price of gold being artificially held down. And I'm fed up with it. And again, let me know. Okay, here's my first question for you, my friends that have joined me. Are you fed up with the price of gold and silver being manipulated? If you are, say yes. If you're okay with it, you're fine with it, be patient, say no. Interesting. 1971, Richard Nixon took the United States off the gold standard. Now, don't you get the feel from like the mainstream media and just the general financial planning community? They kind of laugh at gold and silver, right? I was thinking about this morning. Why then? Why? Why was gold and why were gold and silver such important, like primary importance, most valuable assets on the face of the earth? Why? Why has that been the case throughout pretty much all of history, even the history of the United States? But suddenly in 1971, that all changed. Now they're not important anymore. See, to me, that just shows the government is, they don't want gold and silver to do well. And I have a feeling that right now what we're seeing in the gold and silver market are the last gasps by the powers that be to tamp down the gold and silver price. If gold and silver do really well, right, that makes the US dollar not look so good. And they're fighting for this reserve currency status, maybe even panicking, right? And look, I'm an American. I don't like that things aren't good overall for the U.S. monetary system. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but what do you feel like when you think about your politicians and how they've managed your country and managed your money over the last, let's say, 10, 20, 30, maybe even 40 years? I think a lot of us are very frustrated. We don't like what happened, but we also want to recognize that gold and silver have been valuable. They were a fundamental part of the growth of the United States of America, and they could be a fundamental part of the future growth of the United States as well. Now, let me look at a couple comments, and then I want to talk about resiliency and what we're seeing that's very good with the silver price and gold price. Yes, no. Hello, Dragonfly. Hello, Ed Seller from Cookieville. That's probably where people think I need to live, Cookieville, Tennessee. All right, my friend Matt from London, good to see you. We got Fast Car 666 from Southern Cal. All right, my friend, go get yourself that Gold Eagle. That's awesome. I want to see 2,500. Yeah. Traditional Sweets of India, we agree. The gold price should right now be at least $2,500. At least. Nick the Ice Pick, yep, desperate below 25. Tyler Cole says he thinks that once the central banks are done buying in record numbers, the price will explode. Oh, another guy from Indiana. That's awesome. That is awesome. Hasta la vista adventures. Let me go back to what Tyler said. Yeah, maybe the central banks, right? They want to gobble up as much as they can. Gold has always been, and silver, the most valuable assets on the face of the earth. We can't forget that, okay? We can't forget that. Yeah. Hey, Ron, yes. Cape Coral, Florida. For the future's happy, he's getting it at a big discount. Mountain Bullion Entertainment. I have convinced myself to be okay with the price control. I figure they can't keep it under control forever. And you're right, they can't keep it under control forever. Eventually, Mother Nature wins out. Eventually, mathematics win out. So I would agree with that 100%. Silver fever. The Flicker 66. The problem with the conspiracy theories. Yeah, thank you, Tarsan Turkey. I know. I was having a conversation with somebody this morning. It's like people look at us like we're crazy, but it's funny that a lot of the conspiracy theories do wind up being true in the end. Jerry's, oh, that's sad. It's very sad to see her. Jerry Springer passed away. South Carolina Free Market. Travasio Rossio jewelry stores can sell melted bars too. Last resort. Daniel Hicks, the larger sovereign buyers have made their moves on gold. Now the super rich are following. Yes, hello, Eli. Hello, low blood pressure. Can't hold a bowl down forever. Yes, that's right. You can't hold a beach ball underwater forever either. And the price, what do you think? I mean, do you think the price of gold and silver are going to explode? I'm hearing some people talk about this summer. Look, none of us have a crystal ball or balls for that matter. We don't know, right? I have a feeling that it could happen as soon as the summer, that we could see some major increases in the price of gold and silver this summer. And I'm going to talk about that a little more later in this video. And we're going to go for about another 10 or 15 minutes, so stick with me, guys. Before I forget, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel and then hover over the subscribe thing and press all. That way you'll get notified, the little bell, every time I put out a new video, okay? That's critical that you do that. Absolutely critical. And if you could give this a thumbs up, that'd be awesome as well. All right. So let's talk about the silver and gold price. While you're probably frustrated. Are you feeling a little frustrated? We all get frustrated. We're all just humans, right? We all get frustrated. But it's also key for us to recognize, while we've been frustrated over the last 3-4 weeks with gold just seeming to hover right there around 2,000, every time it gets above, the price gets tamped down. The other thing that's happening is when it goes down, it tends to come right back up. Same thing with silver around the $25 per ounce mark. The metals have been resilient like I've never seen during the decades that I've watched them, right? The price gets beat down a little bit and then buyers move in and it moves right back up. I think we're setting up for a big move, guys. I think we're setting up for a big, big move. Now, what's going on in the world? What's different this time that's different for the metals? Geopolitically, the world is vastly different, right? The president of Brazil the other day just said he goes to bed every night and wonders, why does the world feel obligated to use US dollars? China, Russia, India, Saudi Arabia, everybody's moving away from the dollar. That'll mean a lot more dollars coming back to, yeah, you guessed it, right here in the United States. That'll create a lot of inflation. That will devalue the US dollar. That will be a very supportive factor for the precious metals. Now, here's something super interesting that Pat Holland pointed out to me this morning. Pat is a regular guest on my channel. We were talking. Don't forget, right? In 2020, the United States of America printed like 40% of the dollars that were ever in existence. An unbelievable amount of paper. You may call it digital. You may want to call it unicorn fart dust, is what I prefer to call it. Make-believe, fantasyland money was created, right, during that little situation that occurred during 2020. 40%. So that makes sense that we're going to have big inflation, right? What Pat pointed out that I thought was so interesting and so critical is a lot of that money went into the banking system. And we have a system here in the United States called fractional reserve banking. That means for every like $100 that goes into the banking system, they can create like multiples of that because of fractional reserve banking. They're only required to keep a fraction of that money in their books, in their balance sheet. They can loan it out, and then they can loan out more of that on top of it. So unbelievable amount of new money was put into the system, which explains why, like Pat said, that we've got almost 100% inflation in certain things. Guys, they're getting desperate. They're getting desperate to hold this situation together. There's so much debt. The system has become very fragile, okay? Very delicate, right? Very sensitive. Are you sensitive? Huh? Are you? I am. I'm a sensitive guy, so be careful what you say in the comments. You don't have to agree with me, but don't say anything mean, okay? Nonetheless, the economy's become super duper sensitive, right? And at the same time, this is the big key. At the same time, listen, the world is changing like we've never had before. People like to compare now to like 2008. Well, remember the financial crisis? What happened during the financial? The world was different during the financial crisis. There was a heck of a lot less debt. A lot less debt in the world. Sorry, I yelled at you. There was a heck of a lot less debt. And the world was a much different place. We didn't have countries that represent 70% of the world's population explicitly saying they want to move away from the dollar. Two big differences. We have multiple times more debt, and a big part of the world is talking about moving away from the dollar. So what does that do for our friends precious metals? Well, what that means is as we move into the future, there will be more and more support for the precious metals. Let me take a look at some of these. Comments. If you have a question, I'm sorry I yelled at you again. If you have a question, please leave it in all caps. Do you like the red shirt? That's my question for you. I've had this shirt for 35 years. I've patches on this shirt. And my wife wants to throw it away. As a matter of fact, Susie, right? That Susie, who's supposed to run coffee down here when I ring that bell, and that never happens. Never. That Susie, she's tried to throw this shirt away at least on 3 occasions. Once I had to almost chase the trash man down the street to get it out of the dumpster. Do you like the red shirt? Or does it bug you if I wear the red shirt in all the videos? I really need to know because I want to keep you happy. If you're not happy, you don't watch my videos. So do you like the red shirt? Let's see. Hi, Pat O'Brien. Silver 20, premiums 30, bricks. Yeah, baby. Yep. Thank you, Shining Bright. Hey, Chris, good to see you, buddy. Hey, Coin Shop Chris made it. Everybody say hi to Coin Shop Chris. He's a favorite in Ron's basement and a great help and a great friend. Go shirtless. You know, I made a video. I've made, I think, over 1,000 videos. Coin Shop Chris told me last night. I did make a video at one point where I said if the price of gold and silver didn't get to a certain level, I'd make a video without my shirt on, but nobody called me on that one. Fractional deposit bank account. Yes, go shirtless. Oh, yeah, people love the red wave, loving the red shirt. All right, guys. Been lots of questions lately. Hold on a second here. Oh, let's talk about this. This is very interesting. There's a great video with Jim Willie on Arcadia Economics. Now look, it's in my best interest that you only watch Ron's Basement videos, but that may not be good for your mental health. So you need to go check out Arcadia Economics. They did an interview with Jim Willie, this guy Jim Willie, and he talks about something fascinating. He kept talking about the SCO exchanges, right? What he was talking about was the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. In these countries, and this has to do with the BRICS, they are soon going to be having, according to him, their own new exchanges, right, where they're going to trade bonds and they're going to trade gold and silver. So we could have like 10, 11, 12 additional new exchanges that are trading gold and silver. And he brought up a good point. He said, now it's not just going to be the COMEX and the LBMA. It's also going to be these new exchanges. This could break the stranglehold that the COMEX and the LBMA have on the price of silver and gold. Very interesting. I'm getting to the comments. No meaningful pullback in silver or in physical. Salty Dog says, get it while you still can. The land of Arcadia. Yes, Chris Marcus puts out some great content. We're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. If you're watching this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. That would be awesome. I got the same shirt. Hey, free market, that's awesome. Guys, questions, anything you want me to discuss, leave it in all caps. I am at your service here for about the next 10 minutes. Okay? Please. Oh, did you guys see? Did I get a prenup? Low blood pressure gets the funny comment of the day. Wait till Susie hears that. Susie's out in the yard pulling weeds. But I'm going to let her know your comment. Where is it? Did I get a prenup for the red shirt? That's funny. Okay. Did you guys see? Hello, Daniel. Good to see you, buddy. Did you guys see? And I think this may be why gold, this morning, gold was like 2000, 2005, and then boom, 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 down $20 per ounce. I mean, what the heck, right? And I'm like, what caused it? What was, because actually there was like some data that came out that didn't look that good, that should have been good for gold and silver. But then I see this article about these two Russian hoaxsters. They fooled Jerome Powell into thinking that they were Vladimir Zelensky. And Powell told these guys, thinking he was talking to Vladimir Zelensky, that they were going to raise rates 2 more times. Now, this was back in January, right? That was before the little banking crisis. But nonetheless, I think that had a lot to do with why gold went down. And we know, excuse me, I'm not supposed to cough. I'm doing my best. We know that when gold goes down, what that does for silver. Did you guys see or hear this hoax phone call? I listened to about half of it before I had to get on a conference call, but it was pretty funny. They tricked Jerome Powell into thinking that they were Vladimir Zelensky. Hello from Malaysia. Wow, guys, we've got people from Malaysia, Turkey, Pakistan, Florida, Indiana, St. Louis, Missouri. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So, guys, today's Thursday already. Man, next week, big news will be the Fed, right? It's going to be interesting to see what kind of smoke and mirrors they throw out. Jerome Powell and his cast of his comedy crew are going to get together and decide and it's all smoke and mirrors at this point, guys. That's so important to remember. They have screwed up the financial system in this country like we've never seen before. So we got to remember that whatever they're throwing up, it's. I really think that they're getting to the point of desperation. And, I don't think they're really trying to fight inflation. They can't really mathematically fight inflation at this point, okay? They are going to definitely fight deflation because that would screw everything up. But they want inflation. So it's going to be real interesting to see what they put out there and what type of message they try to convey to the market. But it's all a bunch of BS. I mean, do you remember? I have to repeat this because it really gets under my skin. I don't know if this gets under your skin, but remember just like 2 years ago, Powell saying, oh, we don't have to worry about inflation, and Yellen saying, we don't have to worry about inflation. No, there's nothing to worry about. And then suddenly it was, well, we just have some temporary inflation. It's just temporary. Don't worry about it. We're not going to raise rates till sometime in 2023. And then inflation hit, and it was, oh, it's just transitory. It's just little transitory thing. And now suddenly it's a big, big problem. These guys don't know what they're talking about, or they do know what they're talking about, and we just shouldn't trust them. And I think maybe the latter is the better case. Yep, we are doing a giveaway when we hit 20,000 subscribers. Doom is coming next month. No one has a crystal ball. That's right, Kevin. Right. Any suggestions on what mixed ratio gold to silver to put in an IRA rollover? Me personally, I'm not giving financial advice. If I was doing that, I would probably I'd do at least 50% silver. That would be me, what I would do personally. Won't the deficit be ridiculous for silver compared to last year? Yes. Yes. I mean, last year there was like a 250 million ounce shortfall in silver deficit, whatever you want to call it. 250 million more ounces were demanded than were supplied. So, yeah, and the demand from solar panels is going through the roof, right? They're making more solar panels, and on top of that, the solar panels that are being made, from what I'm being told, are using more and more silver. The new technology, which is much more efficient, requires more silver. Oh, and they're making more electric cars, they're making more electric everything, and all of that requires more and more silver. Thank you, Travisio, for that comment. Andy, will further increase by the Fed next week lead to more bank failures rapidly? In theory, I would think that they're probably now very preemptively monitoring the bank situation, Andy. Hello, Montana. Yes, hey, Adrian, thanks for your help. You know what we're talking about, Daniel. Get it all in your hands only. From East Tennessee, Silverback Gorilla, low blood pressure, gold, silver IRA fake. Don't do it, pay taxes. That's a different way to look at it. No doubt, low blood pressure. We all are entitled to our opinions. Transitory is another way to say transition. We are transitioning to CBDCs. Yeah. Hello, Chris from Singapore. Good to see you. Trevicio. Yeah. Oh, the big day next week will be the Fed interest rate announcement in terms of potential impact on the silver price and the gold price. But we know, everybody, we know, and honestly, a bunch of the rest of the world knows that the Fed is full of it. You know, pretty much full of it. Hey, Neil, good to see you. Where do we go after silver price explodes to cash out? Banks, coin shop, other. Well, I would say if silver explodes, you don't want to go to a bank. You don't want to go to a coin shop. You want to trade silver for real useful assets, things like farmland, machinery, oil claims, whatever. eBay. Yeah, if you're looking to get your best price, you might find that on eBay as well. Okay, guys, any more questions? All caps. We've been going here for about a half hour. Wow, time flies when I'm talking to you guys. Thank you. Okay. Elon Musk will be paying my premium. That's a good one, Adrian. That's pretty funny. That's pretty darn funny. Somebody said something funny earlier about Susie. I forget what it was now, and I have to tell her. But nonetheless, yeah, Elon Musk will be paying the premium for silver. Some people say that Elon is eyeing up, buying a silver mine or acquiring large amounts of silver. He's done that in the past, I think, with lithium. Do you guys think Elon Musk is going to buy a silver mine? That would certainly be very supportive for the price of silver. Somebody do me a favor. What right now is the spot price of silver? Who can type it in fastest? Who can type it in fastest? Travisio, the 2008 crash peaked metals in 2011. Don't we still have some time? You know, if we're going to draw, all right, fast car 666, you're the winner, 2480, 2311, 2480. Come on, silver, get back to 25. Canadian, Adrian, I love it, 3384, 2480. Thank you, guys. 2519. Well, Travisio, I like your number. If we, and this is interesting, I think something we need to consider. If we compare that it took about 3 years after the GFC, the great financial crisis, when they just papered over the whole banking problem and nobody paid any consequences, nonetheless, it took about 3 years subsequent to that, after that, to about 2011 for the price of gold and silver to peak. You would think, right? It's been about 3 years now since the 2023 situation in the United States that we could be due for a big spike. Mike, something just tells me this summer we're going to have a big spike in the price of silver and gold. Don't make any financial decisions based upon that. I'm just I just have a feeling, looking at all the situations, all the data, that's what my tummy's telling me, is that we're going to have a good summer for the price of silver and gold. Okay. Can you remind us the capital gains argument you made last week about silver? I think you said that the fact that it's a form of currency, it should be immune. Yeah, free market. It's money. It's actually not currency, it's money. Gold, that's true for gold and silver. The fact that there's a capital gains tax, right? And a capital gains tax means you buy something like this. Let's say you buy this. This was my dad's toy from 1940, made in Japan, right? You wind it up. Anyway, let's say you buy this and you buy it. It's an antique toy and you pay $100 for it. And a year later, you're able to sell it for $1,000. You made a $900 profit. That's your capital gain. You should have to pay tax on that $900 if you do your taxes accurately. The fact that if you buy some gold, let's say you bought gold for $1,000 and you sold it today for $2,000, you would owe tax on $1,000 profit, that capital gain. So you would owe, let's say, 30%, right? You'd owe $300. It makes no sense because silver and gold are the money, right? It's in the Constitution, silver and gold, legal tender. Silver and gold are the original forms of money, right? You shouldn't have to pay tax on silver and gold, but you could pay taxes with your silver and gold. Use it to pay taxes. It'd be like if you have a $100 bill and the government claims that the dollar went up in value 10% last year, so you owe a capital gains tax on that 10% gain. People would be like, what? That's crazy. It's absolutely the same thing with silver and gold. That's the argument. It's pretty much fact. Kevin, I'm going to get to your question, Kevin. Buy silver. Neil, always good to see you. Low blood pressure. Max all credit cards and get silver. That's an option. That is risky, right? That is risky. Waiting for the collapse. Paper, silver, gold. Chris P. Coin Shop Chris says get 90%, get 40%. Last call. Thank you, Chris. Vyom, in India, we have something called sovereign gold bond, which pays 2.5%. The value depends on gold price. Interesting. Interesting. That's a pretty cool concept. Kevin says gold-backed digital currency in several states that think the feds will try to stop it. That's a great question, Kevin. Right. We're seeing the development of several states, including Texas most recently, talking about a gold-backed digital currency. And will the federal government let it occur? I don't know. Excuse me. It'll be interesting to see how that situation develops. I think it's somewhat similar to what we saw when marijuana became legal in a number of states around the country. It'll be interesting. I'll say this. I think the federal government would be more likely to try to stop gold-backed digital currencies on a state-by-state basis than they would have to stop marijuana. But we will see. I'm not saying I think they will, because I think there's a legal argument because gold and silver are in the Constitution. So we will see. Adrian asked me, do I think with BRICS or other countries, the gold and silver will be more fixed or stable ratio? If you mean the gold, silver to gold ratio, I don't know. I do think that as the BRICS countries continue to develop their own systems and their own markets, the good news, Adrian, is that we will see a more true, real price mechanism for silver and gold. And, you know, these countries are going to have their own markets for silver and gold. Oh, and by the way, they're not going to be leveraged at 400 to 1 or 100 for silver or 100 to 1 for gold. I don't know that to be a fact, right? They may have leverage, but it's very unlikely that they're going to be anywhere near as leveraged. They're going to have more of a real price for silver and gold. We've heard leaders from these countries already say we're tired of the imaginary make-believe, fiat unicorn fart dust currency system that's going on in the West. And so they are going back to real money, right? They just are. You got it, Adrian. Yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for being here. There's no capital gain tax on gold in the UK. Interesting. All right, guys. Hey, Janelle, good to see you. Hey, Azor, I'm going to go for 5 more minutes. We've been on this. Gosh, time flies. You guys are fun to be with. I love all the Cottonums. Platinum. Yeah, Neil would be with you on that one. No doubt about it. Rhodium. I don't really watch Rhodium, but it moves like crazy, huh? Wow. Crazy. If you got anything you want to talk about in these last 5 minutes, let me know. Zimbabwe, talking about gold-backed currencies. Zimbabwe announced that they are going to developing a gold-backed currency. Now, what's interesting about this is last year, mid-2022, Zimbabwe, in an effort to fight inflation and to fight the fact that their currency was deflating, they made the big decision to make gold coins, to mint gold coins. And it worked. It helped stabilize to a certain degree. I'm not saying it solved the problem, but they were wildly popular, and it helped people get away from using dollars as a store of value, and people bought up $20 billion worth of these gold coins. Now, Zimbabwe just announced they are going to start a gold-backed digital currency, right? That all their citizens can be involved, and it will be 100% backed up by gold. It's interesting. The IMF went to Zimbabwe in December of last year and said, "You guys knock it off with this, these gold coins. What are you thinking? You can't do that. Yeah, the last couple days have been very frustrating for gold and silver investors, guys. I mean, they are just tamping the price down. To me, it's obvious. Somebody is desperate, last-ditch effort to keep the price of gold under $2,000. And it keeps bouncing back. It's so darn resilient. Let's go gold. How do you feel about it? Let's go gold. So today's Thursday. Boy, think about where we're going to be. Guys, a week from today with gold and silver. I want to know. Let's talk about silver. Where do you think the silver price will be 1 week from today? This will be after the Fed announcement. You know what? I'm going to say $27. Let me know what you think. I'll read out your prediction. Zimbabwe rocks. Zimbabwean is gold in Shona. Yes, Azure, 22-foot silver Liberty medal. All right. Chris P says 2701. Anybody else have an estimate for where 1 week from today, Thursday of next week, we're going to see the price of silver? There was also a really interesting King World News interview with Alistair McLeod, where he talked about the fact that on these big electronic exchanges, people are taking physical delivery. There's like no silver or gold to back up, right? Or there's nothing to be had. There's very little liquidity. There's some in the vaults, a little bit, but very little liquidity. $32, Kevin, I like you. $25.55 Shadow Works. Comex delivery last day. American 180. $27.02. Good job, Janelle. You put CoinShop Chris in his place. Thank you. David, $27 and some blue chip stamps. Awesome. $22 plus 20 premium. Low blood pressure. Thank you. Azure, 23.33. 1,500. All right, Adrian. Treviso, steady climb to 28. Oh, yeah, that would be awesome. Anthony says 28. That's a pretty big increase in 1 week, but it could happen. I want to go fishing. Yeah, I'll go fishing with you sometime. The future, 25.88. For the future, follow the money, rigged. All right, guys. Greedy Andy Scheckman. Okay. Papa. I need to be put in a box. You know what he's talking about, though? You know, we got to say hi. Our old friend, Jerome Powell. Right? He's in a box. Some people like to say he's painted in a corner, but he's in a magic box, right? He's got a recession and inflation. He doesn't know what to do. You know what the solution is? Huh? Here, look. The solution is right here. Right? There's the solution. Silver. Look. Here you go, Jerome. We're going to help you out. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate you and your support. It is awesome. I want to say goodbye. I'll be back. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow, but I'll do another live stream soon. You guys are the best, and we're going to hang in there together, and we're going to be okay, and we're going to see fruits of and the protection we're looking for with our precious metals. Okay. Yeah, I will get out I'll do a live stream either on Saturday or Sunday, maybe both days, but I'll get it out here. What's today? Thursday? Gosh, Thursday. I'll get it out tomorrow, Adrian. Okay. Thanks you, Lenore. God bless you. Hey, thank you guys. All right. I don't know how else. Tell me where you're from. I love to read off. If you want me to read your name and where you're from, later, low blood pressure. A lot of you have already, but I'll be happy to read it off right before I sign off. I'll read the first 15. The Moon. Chris P., number 1. Yorkshire Wax Clothing Company. Awesome. Welcome. That's in UK. Fort Lauderdale. I've been there, Azor. Good to see you, buddy. Brian Turner, Upside Down, Arizona. Chicagoland. Gerald Draper, Shands in Arizona. Timothy Pools in Georgia. Low blood pressures in Corpus Christi, Texas. Sharon Johnson says, thanks, Chris, Ron, and Corn Chop Chris. Lenore's in Tennessee. Carl Jones in London, England. Montreal, Quebec. We know that about you, Mr. Adrian. Thank you for telling us. Montreal. Adrian's a good friend of the channel. You all are good friends of the channel. Indiana for the future. Silvertown, USA. Awesome. Hey, Tim, St. Louis. Wow, I hear that's a really beautiful city. My neighbor friend, good to see you, Tim Session. Sharon Johnson's in Missouri. FEMA region. That's funny, Annie. I think you're joking. I hope. California, Gonzo. Tulsa. Show me the money stage. Janelle. Awesome. Linz, Austria. There is a big difference. STL, Dennis. Awesome. John in Portugal. All right, guys. I'm going to sign off. You're the best. We're going to hang in there. Things are going to get even better for us because things are pretty good right now. I'll see you soon. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.